All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in. So after a bit of technical difficulties, then we've resorted to doing the presentation today this way. So I'm Laura Lee Humphreys. I'm a health coach, Whole Foods nutrition consultant. I'm all about helping people improve their health through juice fasting, through transitioning onto a plant-based diet, and various mindset and lifestyle activities to have just a well-rounded, healthy life. So my guest today is my friend Isa Danser. Hello, Isa. So I'll introduce you to her real quick. So Isa has been she's been in dance and she's taught dance since 1998. And she's also studied quite a bit of various spiritual and healing practices. She became a Reiki certified in 2001, and she's been a massage therapist since 2002. And then in 2009, then she started really delving into fitness and yoga. And she's been focusing more on that for the last 20 or so years. And she currently teaches in Las Vegas. And she's making fitness and wellness videos online on YouTube for about 10 years. So she's got quite a following there and experience of that. And so Isa is a voice for anyone who wants to listen about how online is the direction of the future, as well as health and wellness. And even though we do things online, you can always benefit from an in-person contact, in-person connection as much as possible. So her goal is to live life fully and fun without limitations, be healthy, and help give others hope to do the same. So hi, Isa.
Hello, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for being here and sharing some of your time today, this afternoon. Yeah. So we wanted to talk to you guys about just the importance of being healthy. And as we know, in the last month or so, everything's on lockdown with the coronavirus and the quarantine, and the media is going completely crazy about all the stats of the virus spreading and people getting ill, and it's almost to a point of frenzy and hysteria.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys have noticed that too. So we wanted to just come on and just give a few down-to-earth, common sense, level-headed perspectives on all of this, so that you don't buy into all of the hysteria and the extreme fear that's going around, because we know that there's a lot of media outlets who love to do just that. So anything you want to add, Isa? Just jump in anytime.
It's interesting. Since the classes have stopped, I just try to be a voice of calm, but also be realistic and just keep our eyes open, and really being calm can really help us to negotiate our own daily lives and really being optimistic for our present and for our future. Sure. And things will get back to normal, but what can we do in the meantime? What can we, food is our life. So what can we do to keep ourselves healthy, And a lot of the practices that I've been doing already, we're going to discuss some of those foods, right? I've been drinking lemon tea as one of my favorite. And for me, it's been a lesson over the last 2 years of no sugar in my tea at all. It's kind of like the Caribbean lifestyle of sugar in your tea, and it's so good, right? And the sugar, I love it. But, that's not the original way of drinking tea. So I've been training myself, and as we grow up, as we get older, we're like, okay, I can't have that much sugar anymore.
Yeah.
So, just telling my students, I think it was 3 weeks ago? Is it a full month now? Almost 3 weeks ago. This is what I'm drinking to keep my immune up, and we can just only do the best that we can.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and with that, and speaking of keeping the immune up, that I wanted just to share a few things just about how the nature of the body, and from possibly a different perspective than what a lot of people are familiar with. I mean, we all know, it's like, yes, there's this list of fruits and herbs and essential oils and that will strengthen the immune system, so start pounding them. And so people have done that, or start pounding capsules and pills and powders and juices and everything. And while that does help, just kind of like, it's reel this back a little bit and look at how does the body even function to begin with to create either a healthy or a strong immune system or a weak one. And it goes all back to the environment, the internal terrain of your body.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that viruses, in order for them to grow and be developed in a lab, that they have to have a certain medium for them to grow in? And what that medium is termed plaque, or a version, some plaque type substance. So then what is plaque? Well, that's stuff that's everywhere in the body, actually, in a lot of people, unless we are constantly caring for ourselves to eliminate the plaque. So what happens? We have a bad diet of refined flours and sugars, processed foods, packaged foods, fried foods, trans fats, all the basic typical American diet that's loaded in refined carbohydrates, flour and sugar. And then we've got way, 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 way too much dairy and meat and fat.
Right, we do.
And that creates a lot of not only sluggishness within the digestive system, it creates a ton of waste, a ton of acid and inflammation. And it also breaks down the integrity of the intestinal wall. So a lot of this waste and stuff seeps and oozes out into the body, into the blood, it circulates around. And when you've got a buildup of all of this acid and wastes in the tissues and in the fluids of the body and in the lymph system, that's what creates plaque. Right. And then on top of that, just the basic functioning of the cells of doing their thing, it's a process called cell respiration. Well, where cells, they do their thing and then they create waste as a metabolic byproduct. And so that waste goes out is expelled from the cell. And so the lymph, it's the job of the lymph system to flush that out, gather it up, bring it into the blood, let it be flushed out of the body. Mm-hmm. So when you have an environment that's a lot of acidity, inflammation, a lot of sugars, excess fat building up, congesting and creating a lot of sluggishness, that's what grows plaque. Mm-hmm. And that's the medium or the environment that viruses love to live in. That's where they grow and thrive. It's also where bacteria and parasites grow and thrive, and yeast and all these pathogenic microorganisms. And so you really need to consider, what are you doing to create the internal environment of your body? Is it something that supports health, or is it something that sets you up to where when something does come in from the environment or your foods, it finds a really friendly, inviting breeding ground to take hold? Right. That's what makes people sick. If your internal environment is not one that's inviting for these microorganisms and viruses, they're going to pass through, because there's nowhere for them to take hold and to breed. Right. So I know that goes contrary to what a lot of people have understood and been taught about health. Mm-hmm. But that's really how things in the body function. Right. So then with that, understanding that, then we can look at certain foods that can really help the body move out all of that plaque and congestion and that buildup of crud. Right. And so today, Isa and I want to talk about a couple of those foods.
Yay.
All right. So the first one, that's one of them, well, there's these first two ones are one of the most effective fruits for cleaning out all of that plaque, helping the lymph system really flush itself out of all the excess fat and waste and mucus and crud and acidity and all the stuff that creates an environment for viruses and critters to grow.
Right.
So the first one I want to talk about is grapefruit.
Yes.
So, and Isa you can chime in with what you understand of grapefruit as well. So grapefruit is one of the most effective and efficient fruits for flushing out the lymph,
Yes.
for helping the lymph get rid of all of that crud,
Right.
so that it flows better, and then the body can operate more efficiently to ward off microorganisms. When the lymph is clear and moving and healthy, so is your immune system. They go hand in hand.
Yes.
So do you want to share anything about grapefruit, and then I'll share some of my thoughts on it?
Yeah. So grapefruit, when I was a kid, it was one of the fruits that given to me, and I didn't really care for the taste of it, but I did. The way that our parents got us to eat really healthy stuff was to put that sweet milk on it. And so they would make a drink out of it and put the sweet milk in it and put ice in it, and we would drink it, with a straw or like so. So it had that little bitter taste. So we didn't really care for it. So then as we got older, we like it, right? But it's actually good for your skin. Okay. But I think the main reason why they gave it to us was to counteract all the sweets that we would have, really,
Yeah.
So, it's really good at preventing, or, preventing is the word I think I could use, diabetes, and then it improves the digestive system. So I think that's the main reason why they gave it to us as kids. And then as, you get older, of course, you got to take the sugar out of it.
Right.
Low cholesterol, and that's one of the other reasons. I think the main reason that they would want us to actually like it is that it would counteract all the sweets you would have as a kid. But I think people that would have like strokes is one of them. Heart, it helps with the heart, and the powerful antioxidant from it. But it's one of those fruits where either you like it or you don't.
Right.
Because of the taste, but I like it.
Yeah.
It was one that I couldn't really handle at first, but it does help you with weight loss. So a lot of people will eat that in the morning. But this is the thing, when a product, or when a fruit or vegetable is really good, sometimes people overdo it, and the acid from it, it's just overdoing it. So it's really taking all these good things in good measurement.
Right.
Yeah.
It's from my notes, since it's two grapefruits a day is plenty. And when I was growing up, then I also was giving half a grapefruit every day, or just about every morning, especially in the wintertime. And we had a lot of the yellow grapefruits. And then as I've gotten older and chosen to eat more of them on my own, then my personal preference are the pink ones, because they are a little bit sweeter. And so it's, there's multiple ways of getting it in you. So you don't have to have
to play with it, like scoop it.
With the jaggedy spoon around the point, so you can cut the sections out of the fiber. But I had that all the time growing up, and now I can appreciate it.
Yeah.
But so grapefruit is extremely high in vitamin C, folic acid, potassium, and has lots and lots of phytochemicals.
Yes.
It's one of the best things to help normalize blood pressure, because it cleans out all the plaque and the sludge and the fat and crud that line the arterial walls.
Right.
And so, for people that are told, oh, you've got high blood pressure, you've got to go on this drug for the rest of your life and never eat grapefruit again. I would, if that's anybody watching this, if that's you or of somebody, then I would really encourage you to go do some research, get a second opinion, go look up what grapefruit does.
Yes.
Because what the doctors don't want to tell you is that if you just ate 2 grapefruit a day to clean out the plaque and crud that line your arteries, your blood pressure would go back to normal and you wouldn't need their drugs.
Yes.
But because they make a good kickback off of their drugs, they're never going to tell you that. So, it's something to consider. And it also helps with the red blood cell count, helps with the oxygenation of them, which is, helpful for, the red blood cells carry or transport oxygen, and they also have to do with clotting.
Right. And it's also good for reducing kidney stones as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let me get my other charger. I don't know why my phone is not charging, but keep going.
Okay.
I'm here.
All right. So it's also very helpful for eyesight, macular degeneration. It helps heart disease and cancer. It helps you prevent all those things, I should say. And it really helps detoxify the liver. And so the more you can have this in your body, the more you can eat grapefruit on a regular basis, then you can enjoy these benefits. And it just goes back to just keeping everything flowing and clear. And so there's not the buildup of the inflammation, that the waste, the acidity, all of the stuff that creates plaque, the sludge, to me, I envision it as being this slimy, mucousy type thing that just is sticky and just gross, where it just breeds disease. So, why would you want that to be the environment of your body? I mean, come on, let's get serious about this. Okay, so anything else about grapefruit you want to share?
Other than, I think the interesting thing that I found, because I only focus on, when someone tells you about a fruit or you've known about it, you only use it for that one reason, like, oh, you use ginger for a tummy ache, right? So I only think of it as something that would just be good to just flush the body of, the toxins, and if I had too much sugar or something like that. So what I found was that it's actually good for the skin. So just having a lot of that is good for the skin, just as the next fruit we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So, I think that's really good, and it's very high in nutrients. So that is another benefit. But I think that the more that people know about fruits that's beneficial for them, it can really limit all the medications that they're on. It's not good for the organ. It really isn't. And the hard thing is changing up your diet. And diet for me, and I'm sure people watching your videos, doesn't mean that you're restricting yourself.
You're on a diet. No, it's
on a diet. It's your daily life practice. So it's really hard for someone that likes to eat a certain type of way to kind of change that.
Yeah, that's where the struggle is, because there's so much that comes up for that.
Yeah, so just eating the grapefruit is good, but just making sure that whatever else they're eating is not contributing to the problem, and will to live. And if we could change it, it's like reprogramming the mind,
Yeah, it's like, on the one hand, pouring a gallon of water on a fire, but then with the other hand, then you're pouring on 2 gallons of gasoline. If you're not going to take out the things in your diet that are creating disease in the first place, then you're just creating more chaos. Because the grapefruit, just, eating grapefruits every day and that's it. It's not, in the overall scheme of things, it's not going to be enough to turn things around if you insist on continuing a lifestyle or a dietary lifestyle that creates disease, which we know is the excess fats, too much animal protein, dairy, too much refined processed carbohydrates, refined flour, refined sugar, soda pops, you know, everything out of in a box.
Yeah.
You know, so you really have got to take that stuff out of your diet.
Yeah, and once we actually do juicing and actually learned how to do that, or you know, if it's something that's not your thing, you find a friend that juices, you know, something. But
Yeah.
you know, say, hey, can you make me a big thing of juice for the week? And you know, it's very cool when you have friends that have a wonderful talent like that, and you know, they give you juice and you trade something else with them. And then you have that drink for the week, and you say, oh, I'm gonna buy carrots. Can you make carrot juice? And you know, and just having, oh, you can have the leftover carrots or whatever. I just need it to be this full. So you know, sometimes I have a lot of clients where I do life coaching, and it's like I can't make the drink. Like she just cannot. She doesn't want to make the drink. I was like, that's fine. So just actually finding a way to bring that into your life. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. If we can be creative, we can do it. You know, and what also helps with the diet is reprogramming the mind. It sounds silly, but I learned this from a dear friend in the past. You have to speak it out loud in the morning. I'm so happy I'm changing the way I eat, and incorporate some EFT tap. It helps to say it out loud. And you know, the saying, fake it until you make it. But I like to say, you know, like make it something positive. I'm gonna say it out loud and until it becomes more real in my body, in my mind. You know, I enjoy eating healthy. I know it's so good for me. You know, we have to like pump ourselves up, and it takes a lot more energy to reprogram our mind to change the way we're living, if that makes sense.
Right. And the support from other people is paramount to doing that. To do it on your own, it's difficult. I mean, it's, for me, when I was changing things up, there's times when it just took me a long time to make much of a change because I was doing the things primarily on my own, or I'd have a few friends here and there. But to be in a community or a support group or even in a coaching program, which is what I lead, to help people make the transition through juicing, then it makes a big, big difference.
Yes.
So, all right. So the other fruit that we want to talk about today is lemon. It's a sister fruit of grapefruit. And both lemon and grapefruit are extremely helpful for the liver. And the lemon especially targets the liver. So for people who have a fatty liver or just a lot of congestion, if the liver's congested, it's going to spill over into the skin. It's all of the waste and the toxins and the acids and the stuff is going to come out through the pores of the skin. And that results in rashes, redness, all kinds of skin conditions, acne. So when you really address the liver, then a lot of that can clear up. That's why, you know, grapefruit is helpful for the skin, because it also helps with the liver. Lemons do the same thing. And what's so great about lemon is it's extremely high in D-limonene, both the lemon as well as essential oils made from lemon. And there's been numerous research studies done on D-limonene, and it's one of the most potent compounds to help break down and eliminate cancer cells. So, you know, I've often heard of lemon as being nature's chemotherapy. And so understanding that, then the next question would be, why on earth would you ever consent to having mounds and mounds of toxic drugs pumped into your veins in an attempt to do this mass cellular war of killing so many cells in an attempt to break down this one small area of where it becomes cancerous? It makes no sense to kill to poison yourself like that, especially if you understand the power of food and understand why the body decided it needed to create a tumor in the first place. You know, that's a big piece of the mindset that we don't get.
Yeah, and the layers to uncover that too, the physical, the mental, the emotional, it's a full package. But yeah, and if someone would give Earth's medicine a chance, it does really make a difference. It's like just
Mhm.
going back in time and actually saying, this will work, doing
Right.
what our ancestors did. But a lot of people, they don't have that knowledge, and they don't really know how powerful a lot of the herbs and the fruits and the
Mhm.
vegetables can really benefit us. And like you were saying, I think it's like soluble fiber, which it helps to reduce the risk of heart disease.
Mhm.
That's another big thing about the lemon, the vitamin C, of course. And that's something we should be taking right now. And I didn't realize this. I just learned um, that with our issue right now, vitamin C plays a big role. So if we take a multivitamin in the morning, a vitamin C in the morning, drink that, have our breakfast. And if we eat other items with vitamin C, that's perfectly fine, like an orange or so on. But then additionally, taking a pill that's a zinc pill, if we don't have like broccoli and other foods that have zinc in it, that will help
Mhm.
us with the current issue we're going through right now. Okay, and then at night, we're supposed to have more vitamin C, because our body will flush out what we don't need, but
Mhm.
we need that for the immune system at this moment right now. So that was one of the recommendations. They're like, just drink a lot of water, of course, but the water, the allotted water for the weight of your body, because you'll
Right.
flush it out, and that's going to keep our body healthy. But that was
Mhm.
really interesting how, and I went to the store and there's no vitamin C, and I think this lady felt bad for me because I had my son with me, and she's like, "Here's some gummy vitamin C. I was buying it for a friend, but she doesn't want the gummy. She wants the regular pill." So I was very fortunate
Mm.
that she was like, "Here, have it." And I was like, "Okay, thank you." You know?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
or you can just get fruits.
Get some
You know,
fruits,
have the
Yeah,
fruit
I
every
did
day.
that too. I got some oranges and orange juice. I
Uh,
was like, okay, you know.
yeah, it's like load up, have the citrus everywhere in your house. Have 2 or 3 of those a day, and that gives your body what it needs, and it's in a form that the body can easily recognize and use.
Yes, a cancer fighter for sure.
Mhm.
And another, and same thing with with the grapefruit. It helps with kidney stones as well. So
Right.
that's for yeah, for and also anemia as well.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
it can help with that, and it's yeah, grapefruits are helpful with anemia, and then the lemons will help dissolve gallstones and
right.
kidney stones. So
Yes,
there's just so many things that it can do. It has folic acid, it's got vitamin B6, potassium, flavonoids, the D-limonene, which is huge.
yes.
It's got a little bit of protein, and then lots of fiber. And so with both of these fruits, the lemon and the grapefruit, you can juice them, and then you've got all that pulp. But the pulp is extremely beneficial for you. It's got a lot of nutrients and fiber, and so don't throw it out. Just
No, and you can clean
I
with it too.
yeah, you could put. I just when I make citrus drinks, I'll put the pulp back into the juice and drink it that way. It
Yes,
may be kind of thick because it's got a lot of pulp, but it's good for you. You need that fiber and all the nutrients in there.
yes, yes.
So yeah, lemon and grapefruit are one of the best fruits for making sure your internal terrain is flushed out of all of the crud that would make you susceptible in the first place to for something to come in and take root or to start to grow. But
And
just
another thing,
mhm.
oh, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
And another thing, I have the jar in my food pantry, a mason jar. After if you did orange, like I just like to keep it lemon peel or the
Hmm.
orange peel or the grapefruit peel. You put it in a mason jar with vinegar, and you just keep piling them in as you're eating, as you eat it. And then once it's full, of course, you keep closing it and putting it back. But once it's full, you just kind of still shake it around again and let it sit there for a while and marinate, and then that's a cleaner. So there's more to it,
Ah.
but you can use it as a cleaner. So
Hmm.
waste not, want not. Like there's so many things, so many things that you can use for something else. You don't have to throw it away.
Threw it away. Yeah. Yeah, lemon is one of those things that has so many different uses.
Yes.
So, and additionally, this last food we're going to talk about also has 101 uses, and that is garlic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a root that we, or a little bulb that we know to go to boost our immune system, because it's extremely effective of getting rid of the bugs in your digestive tract.
Yes.
So it's, you know, if you've got an infection in your, because you ate something wrong or food poisoning or anything, then just, you may smell, but whatever.
I know, I do not
Just
like
eat the garlic and
smell
help
of
your
the bread.
belly.
Yeah, but you know, whenever I eat it, I mean, I guess I don't eat it that much where it's not on my breath. I cannot
Right.
handle it on the breath. It's like a no-no. But but what I found out about garlic that I love is that it wards off cold and coughing. So I was talking to my cousin in Canada yesterday, and she was like, "Oh, you know," we always talk about remedies because she's so, oh my gosh, she's amazing. So you can boil garlic, and I'm trying to remember what the other thing is. Boil garlic, and actually, when it gets brown, and then have it as a tea. And I think you could put lemon in it too. I'm trying to remember what the other item is, and I don't know where the paper is, but I might make a comment on it. But I wrote it down, and it's really good, of course, to boost the immune system. It's good to ward off coughs and colds, which now reduces cholesterol, breaks down blood clots, okay, blood pressure management, and the other one that I said reduce cholesterol, reduces fat in the liver.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things it will do, and it also has been used forever and ever all over the globe, and so it's got a very long history, so people know what it will do. And so some of the things they've found that it does is help with atherosclerosis, which again is plaque and buildup of crud in the arteries, which lemon and grapefruit will help with that, and garlic.
Yes.
Coughs, as you said, dandruff and diarrhea, diphtheria, earaches, hypertension, toothaches, vaginitis or infection of in the vaginal area, and other conditions. Lots of conditions.
Yes. It is one of those herbs that it's considered an herb, right? Yeah, it's one of those that's just a gift, you know. It's really it is a gift.
A ton of things, and it has. I'll give you some of the nutritional profile of it. It's really high in vitamin B6. It's a really good source of manganese, selenium, and vitamin C, along with grapefruit and lemon that we've been talking about. It also has a lot of phosphorus, calcium, potassium, iron, and copper. Nice. So it's a powerhouse.
I wish I knew what that paper is, because I could tell you guys a really good recipe, and I just got it yesterday from her. And I have to get thyme for another recipe of making a drink, you know. And next time we can talk about red onions, because it's very good to drink.
Onions are helpful as well.
So the garlic, it's so amazing, because when you walk into someone's kitchen and they have it hanging by the window, it just feels like home. And I think it's one, like I have to say again, it's definitely a gift herb for us. And I love it in soup. I love to put it in slices in soup. I love the aroma of it in soup. That's like, I think, my favorite. And of course in pasta. But I love it most in soup.
Yeah, it's very good that way. I like it in just like the roasted.
Yeah, the fluid goes through you. You absorb it better as a fluid. So I really like to drink it.
Yeah, and you can juice it or add it to juices, because it's so potent. Then you would, you wouldn't want to just drink it straight. You'd want maybe just one or two bulbs of to juice one or two bulbs within maybe like a pint or a quart or something of juice, because it's going to be really strong flavor, and so you want to offset it with some of the other things in there, but it's still extremely beneficial.
Yes, I'm trying, and it has a spicy taste to it too. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like a pungent, spicy type thing.
Right,
and you can do it raw, you can do it roasted. There's so many different ways that you can have it.
it's good for bug bites. I didn't want to say it, but I looked
Mm.
it up and I was like, isn't it good for bug bites? Yes, it is. So it's like, it's amazing.
Yeah, lots of different uses.
Yes. And also, you can use it as a remedy for bug bites with white vinegar. Here comes
So
vinegar.
you would just put it in, steep it, soak
Yes.
it in the white vinegar, and then you just rub it on, apply it topically to the bite.
Leave it on the top for insect bites, and we're coming up to that season. You know, we
Yeah,
can't
so,
cancel bugs. You know?
yeah. So you'd mince it up or you chop it up real fine, soak it in the vinegar, and then rub it on topically.
And then, yeah, let it soak for a while and then rub it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, where did we go? That was so fun.
Okay. Well.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, it's just technical malfunctions all over the place today. Sorry about that, everyone. So anyway, yeah, so we were pretty much about to wrap up or getting towards the end anyway. So yeah, take some notes, share this with some friends, comment some of the things that your favorite ways are to use grapefruit and lemon and garlic, and keep your insides clean and a place where no bug would want to take up residence. That's what it's all about. It's simple when it comes down to that.
Yes, and I hope to do this again. And if anyone has comments, please leave some comments. Hopefully we'll be sharing this on different platforms, your platform, my platform, and hopefully we can do this again with another topic. And well, I'm open to suggestions for different topics that would interest you, that you would like to know about, and whoever's watching out there in social media land.
Yep. All right. So with that, I'm gonna stop the recording. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And let's see where the record button is here. Nope. There it is. Okay. Thanks everyone. Talk to you soon.